What in the world is going on with Boston? Enter one of the most brilliant minds in all of the sport. That is Ric Bucher. Y'all are familiar with him, clear friend and relative at this point of the show. Rick, the question, man, is simple. Like, when I thought about the Celtics last year, literally a year from this very day, I was asking you, are the Celtics a dynasty?
Yeah.
And now a year later, I have to ask you, is the Celtics championship window closed? Because they've now moved on from Kristaps, Porziņgis, literally one of the most rare players in the NBA, and Jrue Holiday, I would say one of the best leaders in all of the NBA, especially when you talk about being a floor general and a point guard. Utterly shocking the moves they're making. I understand it's for salary cap reasons and tax implications, but would you suggest the Celtics championship window is closed?
When we originally talked about this, my thought was, no. They still have the core. It's just on hiatus. We don't expect it next year because Jason Tatum's not going to be there. But the more I've thought about it, yes, that window is closed on this iteration of the Boston Celtics. Because, to your point, Kristaps Porziņgis literally called him the unicorn. Absolutely unique player. Jrue Holiday, I would say the same. Champion coming from Milwaukee, unique defensive point guard, one of the best in the league, even in his 30s. Those two, were they not the final pieces of their championship puzzle?
They were.
And now they are gone. And the idea that you can just replace them with Anthony Simons or take your pick, I don't believe is realistic. And I've thought this for a while in terms of when we were talking about the Boston Celtics as a dynasty. Yes, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown are still mid-20s, still very much in their prime, but they've been to the mountain and not gotten to the summit multiple times already. And you just don't have stretches where you're a contender, a title contender for 10, 12, 14 years, especially with the salary cap rules as they are today. And then I add in the young teams that are coming in the Eastern Conference. And when I put all that together, can they get back there? Sure, because you still do have a Jason Tatum, and I fully expect that he's going to come back and be Jason Tatum. And you still have Jaylen Brown. You still have some very nice pieces. Brad Stevens as GM, tremendous. But you're going to have to build this thing again, essentially. From the studs up, which is why I'm now of the mind, for the foreseeable future, the Boston Celtics championship window is closed.
I hate that you're right. I hate that you're right. The Celtics are a team that I love, in large part because Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, I'm just a big fan of not only how they've stuck together through all the turmoil, but also the way they play the game. But the window is closed right now because it was open for so long. We only view the window as maybe being open the last 3 years, 2022 to 2025, because that's when they finally went to the championship. But make no mistake about it, this window opened in 2018. Because in 18, they went to the conference semis. And then in 19, they went to the conference finals. And then in 20, they went to the playoffs again, lost in the first round. Then now you get to that 21-22 season, they lost in the finals. And then they lost in the conference finals. And then they lost in the NBA. And then they won the NBA title. And then they lost in the conference semis. Their window has been open for over half a decade. Mind you, I excluded years before that when Kyrie Irving was on the team. So this is not a team who just had a small window. A 7-year window in any pro sports, it's as long as you can fathom.
Massive.
Like Slick said, it is a massive window. So for their window to be closed on the 8th year actually makes a lot of sense. It's actually very fair. It actually is incredibly practical. Can they open the window again with a different iteration of the team in years to come? Sure. But Jrue Holiday is what ultimately got them over the edge. Kristaps Porziņgis, he played to some degree, but remember, in the NBA Finals, it's not as if he was a major contributor. He missed several games last year anyway. So I think, Jay, this window is closed, and they might have to find a new iteration.
Yeah, it's closed. They're going to have to find a new entrance to get in. I know I've been through a lot of windows. The door has been locked, you know what I'm saying? But they're going to have to find a new way in because it's closed. And the main reason why I say it's closed is because I've seen them healthy with this roster be down 0-2 with the Knicks. So you have Eastern Conference teams that are playing well, that are going to have something to say. And that is why we say up here, when you have a chance to win a championship, you have to win it because you do not know what the next year is going to look like. Jason Tatum ain't going to be there next year. They're not going next year. So the window's definitely closed for next year. Who knows if the team is going to be the same when Jason Tatum comes back. So the window probably going to be closed his next year after injury. So this is 2 to 3 years that the window is shut. So right now for the Boston Celtics, man, I got to sit up here and say the window is absolutely closed and locked right now for at least the next 3 years because this team is going to look different. It's going to be a lot of moving parts. I don't know how Simmons and all these boys is going to fit in, especially with Jason Tatum being out. You know, who knows if somebody else may get hurt or something. That's why when you have a chance to win it, you have to win. Right now for the Boston Celtics, they should have 2 or 3 championships, not just one. And they let that go.
Rick,
so,
is it fair to say, in actuality, like the Celtics, this core thus far has underachieved? You won a title, I get that. But there's no reason the Miami Heat should have gone to a title or 2 on your watch. Not those Miami Heat teams. There's no reason those Miami Heat teams should have beat you with Jimmy Butler and several other no-names. Shout out to Bam Adebayo and Hero. There's no reason they should have gone on your watch. There's no reason, and really to a high degree, it's unacceptable that that Warriors team beat you.
Yeah.
If a 16, 17, 18, or 19 Warriors team beat you with Kevin Durant, so be it. But that 2022 Warriors team, that team should not have beat you. Not with JT and JB in their prime. That team should not have beat you. Is it fair to suggest if we only get one title, and I say only, we know how hard it is to win a title. James has one on this desk. If this core only gets one title, did they underachieve?
My immediate response was, no, that's not underachieving. They got a ring. But then the way you laid it out, I'm like, whoo, maybe. I'm still going to say no. I always thought that losing that 2022 title to the Golden State Warriors was a bite of the apple that they missed out on that they were going to regret more than anything else. I think that was their key opportunity. There have been a lot of other moving parts here in terms of putting together the championship puzzle. I don't think they underachieved as much as I feel we may have overhyped Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum as a core, because I've always struggled with them sort of being the same player in different ways, playing the side. I've never considered them the ideal nucleus to a team, which is why I think that they had to find so many different puzzle pieces to figure out what the dynamic is around them. Both extremely talented, but both wings have their strengths and weaknesses. But generally, when you're building a championship core, you want a big, you want a backline guy, and you want a guard or a wing. You want that inside-outside presence. You want the Draymond Green, Steph Curry. You want the Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray. That is more the blueprint.
But when you're as talented as JB and JT, like Dwayne Wade and LeBron James, though Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are not Dwayne Wade or LeBron James, that trio of D. Wade and LeBron, you could have suggested there's a lot of overlap, there's a lot of similarities, albeit LeBron could run point or LeBron could play the 4. But when you have somebody as talented as JT, 6'8", with the jumper, can bring the ball up the court, has post moves, can stroke you from 3. When you have somebody that talented, and then you have somebody like Jaylen Brown who can lock you up defensively, also 6'6", great two-way player, great mid-range game, and then you add a Al Horford and a Derek White, should you not be able to win at least 2, maybe 3 chips?
Yeah, it's underachieved. It's underachieved. There ain't no way around it. I tell people all the time, our Green Bay Packers teams, we underachieved. We should have 2 or 3 championships right now. And the main reason we underachieved, we lost to teams that was not better than us. If we lose to the 16-0 Patriots and we was good, they was better than us. But we lost to the Giants team that was in the wild card at our crib twice. And we were the better team with the baddest man in the planet at the time with really talented rosters. With the Boston Celtics, they have missed out on opportunities, and it ain't because they wasn't a better team. It's because they didn't play the best. They should have at least 2 to 3 championship rings right now and at least 3 to 4 appearances if they don't lay eggs in the playoffs or the finals. So for me, with these 2 and their teams they had, it absolutely is an underachievement.
So why did you lose?
That's
why did you not win more championships?
Slick. We did not play our best football when our best football was needed. We played the Giants at home. We was 15-1, and we all decided at the same time, hey, you ready to play your worst? I'm ready to play my worst. We all decided at the same time. I think it was a game to where, like, John Kuhn fumbled, and they came out with a stat. John Kuhn never fumbled a snap in his career. Ryan Grant fumbled. Donald Driver, things that we did not do We did in those games, and we all did it at the same time. And the mistakes cost us, man. And we sit here today with one championship, and at least could have been the 3 to 4 Super Bowls under Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. I think the Miami Heat team, though, underscores what I'm saying about the duplication. Because without Chris Bosh changing his game and being in that mix, I don't know that they win a championship. I don't know if it's Dwayne Wade and LeBron James, if they win 2 titles. And then, even then, the first year it wasn't good enough. You had to go get a Miller. You had to go get some shooting, those additional pieces on the outside, because it wasn't that perfect nucleus.
What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.